The Theory of Political Economy by William Stanley Jevons. Chapter 3 Theory of Utility. Part 10 Actual, Prospective, and Potential Utility. The difficulties of economics are mainly the difficulties of conceiving clearly and fully the conditions of utility. Even at the risk of being tiresome, I will therefore point out more minutely how various are the senses in which a thing may be said to have utility. It is quite usual, and perhaps correct, to call iron or water or timber a useful substance, but we may mean by these words at least three distinct facts. We may mean that a particular piece of iron is at the present moment actually useful to some person, or that although not actually useful it is expected to be useful at a future time, or we may only mean that it would be useful if it were in the possession of some person needing it. The iron rails of a railroad, the iron which composes the Britannia Bridge, or an ocean steamer is actually useful; the iron lying in a merchant's store is not useful at present, though it is expected soon to be so. But there is a vast quantity of iron existing in the bowels of the earth, which has all the physical properties of iron, and might be useful if extracted, though will never be. These are instances of actual, prospective, and potential utility. It will be apparent that potential utility does not really enter into the science of economics, and when I speak of utility simply, I do not mean to include potential utility, as it is a question of physical science, whether a substance possesses qualities which might make it suitable to our needs if it were within our reach. Only when there arises some degree of probability, however slight, that a particular object will be needed, does it acquire prospective utility capable of rendering it a desirable possession. As Condillac correctly remarks, it would seem that things do not exist to be pure, that at the moment they are of interest to know that they exist. But a very large part in industry and the science of industry belongs to the prospective utility. We can at any one moment use only a very small fraction of what we possess. By far the greater part of what we hold might be allowed to perish at any moment without harm, if we could have it recreated with equal ease at a future moment, when need of it arises. We might also distinguish, as it is customary with French economists, between direct and indirect utility. Direct utility attaches to a thing like food, which we can actually supply to satisfy our wants. But things which have no direct utility may be the means of procuring us such by exchange, and they may therefore be said to have indirect utility. To the latter form of utility I have elsewhere applied the name acquired utility. This distinction is not the same as that which is made in the theory of capital between mediate and immediate utility, the former being that any implement, machine, or other means of procuring commodities possesses immediate and direct utility, that is, the power of satisfying want.